know what it says about the leadership race that it takes a party ancient to stir up the whippersnappers, but there you have it. I think everyone owes Ed Broadbent a round of applause for, at the last minute, rescuing the NDP leadership race from its doldrums and dumps. The former leader offered an analysis of the likely next leader, Thomas Mulcair, which was the equivalent of putting a very agile cat among some very pouty pigeons. Mr. Broadbent evidently views Mr. Mulcair very darkly, a menacing hybrid, social democratically speaking, of the Cookie Monster and Machiavelli. The election this weekend is just another segment of an unfolding story. If the New Democrats choose rightly, then they continue what began roughly a year ago in the election. They will consolidate their newly gained Quebec fortress. They will manage the transition from a much-loved leader to a brand-new one. And they will effectively shut off the oxygen to a renewal of the Liberal Party. That's a ferociously big agenda. It's a good question whether the race itself has in any real way much helped them. The NDP deliberately chose to conduct their leadership in a hush. We didn't so much follow it as overhear it. There have been future shop sales of more suspense and drama. And they exiled, for unknown reasons, all their candidates, the heavy hitters, from the natural arena of the House of Commons. As an aside, the one person who will watch this race with just about as much interest as the heavyweights of the NDP is the former Big Dipper himself, Bob Rae. Its outcome will determine a lot of his future, too. This weekend could be an earthquake shift in Canadian politics if they choose the right person to hold on to the Leighton legacy, the first ever NDP second-place win in Canadian politics. Can Mulcair, everyone's favourite projected winner, do that? Or will his strengths, his Quebec base, his strong support among all those brand-new Quebec MPs, his liberal bridging roots, will they play against him outside that province? Will his manner, the division Ed Broadbent alleges Mr. Mulcair inspires, be a drawback? And will his strangely hesitant mutterings about Alberta and the oil sands leave the NDP, again, stranded on the prairies, winning hosannas from the Greens, but at the expense of a national base? Will the NDP, in other words, become a Quebec-based, Quebec-driven party, or one which, as the Liberals of old, can speak to all the regions of the country? This is the fundamental tension, the central preoccupation of the race, and the pivot of this weekend's choice. The next chapter of this long saga will be in the House of Commons, so willfully deserted by the NDP candidates over the last months. The return of so many front-bench players will make the Commons the real testing ground. Harper is combative and has a majority. The NDP have exuberance and will have a new leader. And Mr. Rae has patience and all its guiles. The stage is set. The game is afoot. Mr. Speaker, don your helmet. For the National, I'm Rex Murphy.